Okay, number 4 of an evergreen principle. This is an acronym, and the acronym is T.R.I.V.E. T.R.I.V.E. So I know I'm really expanding how many terms I'm bringing in here, but the T.R.I.V.E. stands for having taste, having reputation, having initiative, having vision, and having emotion. All right, so to go through them all, taste. When you have an image generator giving you, let's say, hundreds and hundreds of images, what you ultimately decide on, what you ultimately use to share with people, that is your taste. So your decisions matter, even if you're not, again, the hand that paints the illustration. Number 2, reputation. This is really important to think about, especially in a business sense, if you're a business owner. Because when an AI writes an article, if it's completely false, guess who's responsible for it? Not the AI model, not OpenAI, but the person who decided to post it, the person who didn't double check the work. So your reputation matters quite a bit. And if you're just willy-nilly using AI and not really double checking anything, then your reputation is going to be in the can. So our reputations are going to be really important going forward. When everyone can use AI, it's a person who holds themselves to a high standard that's really going to stand out. Then we have initiative. Now, initiative is critical because, everyone's going to have ChatGPT at their fingertips, anyone with a smartphone. But it's about how it gets used. And not just how it gets used, but do you complete a project? Or do you just kind of test things out and play around with the AI, but don't really actually create anything from it? So initiative is about using AI to create something that ultimately you can show people, you can sell it, you can rent it out, something along those lines. It's about completing a project. Then we have vision, which I obviously already talked about, but it's so important to be able to clearly visualize what your big project will look like at the end. And then from there, basically breaking down the tasks. And maybe you use AI to help with some of the tasks, to help with the research, and maybe you do some of the creation process, but it's about who has the big vision, a vision that they can see what that end product will look like in their mind. And then E is for emotion. Now, as of the past decade, technology companies like social media sites have been hijacking our emotions, have been profiting off our anger, our anxiety, our fear, our hate. But I do think that us having emotions, whether we get angry about something, whether we get super excited and happy about another thing, that is our superpower. Because whether or not AI gains sentience, it makes no sense for an AI to have emotions unless they're synthetically created. Again, I talked about emotional manipulation. I think the emotions that the regular human has, that those are our unique factor. That, again, I will say the quote that I mentioned before, reason is and ought to only be a slave to the passions. We are the passions. Our ability to feel excited, in love, even angry at times. That is the thing that compels us forward. That compels us to work on projects. That compels us to create new things, to be innovative. So I think if we begin to see our emotions as an asset, rather than something that we need to cope with or regulate or suppress, then we will be in a much better place when it comes to our role in this new age of AI. And then number 5, what I think might be the most important evergreen principle for what it means to be human. If you enjoyed that clip, I just have 3 things I want you to do. The first thing is hit subscribe, follow the channel for new content. Second thing, go and watch the full episode. If you like this clip, you're probably going to enjoy what I talk about in the entire podcast. And the third thing, which I think is the most important, go and buy my new book, Off With His Head. It's on Amazon right now. Not only is it the best way to support this channel and the content I'm making, but I truly believe that it is a foundational book, something that can provide you existential security in an increasingly polarized and radicalized and chaotic world. This is a book of hope for people who are stuck living with a cynical worldview. We are living at a time where our rational mind is actually short-circuiting because of all the information overload we're receiving. We need more silence and stillness, not more information. Wisdom comes from the gap between thoughts.
the gap between sounds, the gap between the news. And that is what I want to convey in this book. So if that sounds appealing to you, then go right now, click the Amazon link, go and buy that book. You will thank yourself later.